أجمعين. أما بعد, brothers and sisters, all praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to come to His house to perform faridah. We ask the Almighty Allah to accept our ibadah and forgive our shortcomings. We ask the Almighty Allah to grant us the khair of this day. And we ask Him to protect us from all types of evil. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been kind and merciful towards the believers, where Allah Azza wa Jal granted them the ability to come, the ability to worship, the ability to fulfill the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now those who Allah select, they are the special people in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from the entire ummah, the best individual after Anbiya alayhimus salam is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, and then the rest of the companions as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam granted them different types of status in his own life. Now later on, when a person he becomes neglected towards the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he depreciates the efforts of those who gave, then he starts to say things which are not supposed to be said regarding the great people who Allah has sent in the past. For a general rule, it is not allowed for anyone to talk anything bad about anyone who has departed from this world. This is why, as a believer, the Prophet ﷺ said that describe the good habits of your deceased. وَأَنْتُمْ شُهَدَاءُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ, and you are the witness of Allah on earth. So even if someone might have any flaws, it is the duty of a believer to highlight only the good actions of someone, so that when we depart from this world, we are mentioned also by good names. And once you have a good name on earth after your demise, then accordingly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala treats you when you meet Allah Azza wa Jal. So amongst the major sin is to disregard the efforts of the companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, لا تسبوا أصحابي فلو أن أحدكم أنفق مثل أحد ذهبا ما بلغ مد أحدهم ولا نصيفه متفق عليه. That do not criticize my companions. If one of you was to donate the size of a mountain of Uhud in gold, you cannot even reach half of one sa'. Half of one sa' is like 3 pounds, even less than that. You cannot even reach half of one sa' of the contribution that was given by the Sahaba. So if you were to give contribution of gold equivalent to the mountain of Uhud, you can't reach even half of the sa' of what the Sahaba has contributed. Why? Because these were the special people who Allah selected for the companionship of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. This is why Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Allah Azza wa Jal chose me for His nabuwa, for His message, and He chose my companion for my companionship. So this is why part of our faith and our belief is to have love and mahabbah and high regards regarding the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now, once a person starts to love the companion of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam and their actions, then Allah Azza wa Jal protects his faith. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevates. And that's why whatever intention you have now, so a lot of people, they keep the names of their children based on the names of Sahaba. And that is a sign of love. That is a sign of muhabba that you have towards them. And when you have that intention, Allah inculcates good qualities inside them and makes them righteous like those who were righteous, and we are witness of their life. So if you hear someone, and this is why a lot of times that's why the ulama say that whenever you say the name of a companion, any name, they should say radiyallahu anhu. Why? Because that is giving them that honor which Allah Azza wa Jal has given. And this is where we need to start having to show adab and respect to those who have contributed to the religion in the past and who Allah has selected. And that goes from the life of the Sahaba, the Ansar, the Muhajirun, the early ones. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said about the Ansar, لا يحبهم إلا مؤمن ولا يبغضهم إلا منافق. That only a believer can love them and only a hypocrite can hate them. So if I am not having the love for them, that means my iman is weak. I have nifaq inside me. I have nifaq inside me, and that's why I'm considering or thinking different. I have different feelings or different approach regarding them. So that's why a person's iman needs to be fixed if he has any ill feeling against the companions of Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. And once that behavior comes inside, then all the actions are not accepted in the court of Allah, and a person lives upon sin. So this is why it is important for every believer to appreciate the work of the Sahaba, to love the Sahaba. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, Allah fi ashabi, make sure you are fearful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to my companion. Right? And whoever loves them, they have loved me, and whoever has loved me has loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whoever hates them, they have hated me, and then whoever hates me hates Allah Azza wa Jalla. So we ask Allah's protection. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the great understanding of the great effort that these people have done for the sake of deen. And we ask Allah to give us the ability to appreciate and to make dua for them. To ask Allah to bless them and their families who have gone in the past, gave sacrifice for deen. Because that will make my deen, my iman strong inside me, which will help me navigate through the difficulties of life. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to grant us the understanding and the ability to practice. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the importance and the virtues of these days, as the month of Sha'ban is already in. And soon we will be entering into the month of Ramadan. We ask Allah to grant us the ability to utilize this month in the best way possible and take us to the blessed month of Ramadan. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.